CarolinaPrepper.com. If you're looking for quality food storage for hiking, fishing, hunting, basic survival needs, or just for everyday use, check out our food storage line at CarolinaPrepper.com. We also carry other fine quality products such as our can concealment holsters for men and women. Keeping your firearm under cover and within reach puts confidence in your hands in any situation. Our products are 100% American made. Check us out today at CarolinaPrepper.com.
And now, it's time to Stand for Truth with the host of Stand for Truth Radio, Susan Knowles.
Good morning, everyone. How are you? How is everybody? Good to see you. Hey, German. How are you? Lisa, Karen, how are you? How are you? Carmen, good to see you. Got your message. Hey, Tammy, good to see you. Everybody, if you would please invite your followers and share, retweet this. Hey, Robin, good to see you. Marlene, good morning. Good morning, James Tillman. L. Brooks, good to see you. Huey, good to see you. Doing great. Wonderful to hear. Thank you so much for being here and inviting everybody in and retweeting. Right to Bear Arms, good to see you. Good morning, everybody. It's Thursday. It seems like it's been Friday for me all week. Good morning. Good morning to everybody. Hey, Julia, good to see you. Lori, good to see you. Everybody on Facebook Live, good to see you. Hey, Hugh, good morning. Good to see you. Carmen couldn't sleep last night, so hopefully she'll have a better day. Get a nap in there. Shauna, good morning. Good morning, Mark. How is everybody? Been ready for Friday all week. It's felt like Friday every day this week for me. I don't know what that is, but hey, Gina, good to see you. It's just kind of an odd thing. The whole week has felt like Friday. That's not a good sign. Hey, Bennett, how are you? Good to see you. We're on Facebook Live, Periscope, and YouTube live streaming right now for those who are new and joining us. Hey, Robin, missed you. Haven't seen you in a while. Hey, Greg, good to see you. Kim, glad that you're here. Hi, Bob. Hey, Ken, good to see you. How's Florida? Oh, rural AT&T. Oh my gosh. Well, hopefully you can keep the signal going, right? Oh my goodness. Okay, so let's get started. We have a lot to talk about today, as we always do. It seems like every single day is something that we need to talk about, something new that's happening, some of it you can't explain. Hey, Asher, good morning. YouTube is not letting you share. Thank you for the super hearts, Carmen. And Asher, hello to your little doggy, too. Good morning, Ron. How are you? Good to see everybody in Michigan. Hi, everybody in Michigan from where Ron's at. Good to see you. Glad that you're here. We're still waiting, Karen, but I'm telling you, Karen, it's getting more and more difficult every day. Thank you for the super hearts, Robin. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Thank you for inviting everybody in. Yes, I know, Lisa. I'm close to 2 million hearts. I don't know how that happened, but it's cool. Hey, Hoosier. Is it Hoosier? Hosier? I have no idea what the name is. 22,000. Yeah. Baby says, good morning. We're ready to roll. Great. I love Asher's dog. It is so cute. So cute. Sits and watches the show. That's so great. Probably gets more out of it than your roommate, Doug Asher, I'm guessing. I'm just saying. Got to get Doug to come over into the right side. Hey, Karen, good to see you. Good morning. Okay, so let's start with, I don't know if everybody saw yesterday, Paul Nealon. He had a Periscope. I kind of shared it with everybody, hoping that everybody would come and watch it. He made an announcement that he confirmed that at this quote-unquote town hall meeting that Paul Ryan, hey, Charles, how are you? Is it Josette? Josette watches us from Trinidad on YouTube Live. So everybody, please welcome Josette from Trinidad. So glad that you're here. Hey, Judy, good to see you. Doug needs to come into the light. I know, Asher, that too. Hey, Cully, good to see you. So Paul Nealon confirmed that Paul Ryan at this quote-unquote town hall meeting passed out questions to his employees so that they could ask him questions. Now, I don't know. That sounds just like Hillary Clinton to me. And very disappointing. Not something that surprises me, but very disappointing. So you kind of know that what you're dealing with Paul Ryan, from what I'm understanding from everything that I'm seeing, he's not a very honest individual. Not somebody that you could trust. Yes, it was staged for sure. Yes, right, to bear arms, he is part of the swamp. He needs to go. People in Michigan or Wisconsin, hey, Catherine, need to vote Ryan out and put Nealon in. I know, Robin. Robin says Paul Ryan keeps getting worse and worse. He absolutely does. And we hear more and more. I mean, he's so protected, nobody can see that, you know. You can look at him and see he's a shady joker, Carmen said. Yeah, he really is. I'm sure there's nothing new for politicians. That's right, Big Ralph. No, I mean, he's kind of doing what everybody else does. Mark says Paul Ryan needs to go on Facebook Live. Asher said, I'm not happy about Ryan doing that. Well, it's no different than what Hillary Clinton did, getting the questions from, you know, CNN or whomever she got them from. I mean, you want to have an honest debate and an honest talk in a town hall meeting. You certainly don't pass out questions to your employees, nonetheless. The employees who are not going to say anything against you at all if they want to have a job. I mean, that is so deceitful. I know. Hey, Jerry, how are you? The 11 o'clock creeps up on you pretty fast. Wow, Shauna, sorry about your computer and everything. Sleazy politicians need to go. That's right, Karen. Absolutely. So I'm glad that Paul let us know that and gave us that heads up, because we need to continue to know things like that. We need to continue to spread the word on things like that even more so. Another thing, I don't know. Oh, it's your cell phone. Oh, gosh. Yeah, do a hard start on that cell phone. I don't know if you heard, but the NAACP in Missouri, for the first time ever, has issued a travel warning telling people, you know, be careful about coming here because of the police shootings and the immigration legislation. It's like, okay, wait, do you want tourists not to come to your town? Is that what you're doing? Is that why you're getting that out? I mean, how crazy that you're preventing people from coming to your state. I know. And he's called this new bill. There's a new bill he doesn't like. And basically what it's saying is, if you want to file a discrimination lawsuit, you have to prove now that discrimination was the motivating factor for the lawsuit. And he doesn't like that. He's calling it the Jim Crow bill because he doesn't want people to have to prove that that discrimination was the motivating factor. And let's say you're getting fired or something of that nature. Roland Martin, he was promoting it. He blocked you. What an honor, right to bear arms. How great. Hey, Amanda, good to see you. So everybody wants to be, I guess everybody wants to be seen, and that's what it is. Hey, Judy. I mean, come on, really? You're trying to prevent people from coming to your state. You're discouraging them from coming to your state. And then the next thing you'll know, he'll be asking for money from the federal government because tourism is down. May your viewership grow in Jesus' name. I am learning so much. Thank you, Josette. Really appreciate it. So glad that you're here. Everybody, say hello to Josette, the ones that are on YouTube. Welcome. So that was another part of the crazy news. As you all know, the Dow not only opened yesterday at a record high of 22,000 for the first time ever, but it closed over 22,000 at the first time ever. So I wonder if President Trump is doing anything. Yes. Carmen says, hello, Josette from Periscope. Did you see that leaked Trump's full conversation with our prime minister? These people are reckless. Yeah, they don't care. They hate President Trump so much. They don't care if in the process they hurt another country, if they hurt the American people. It doesn't matter to them. All that matters to them is the focus on Donald Trump and taking him down. That's it. So, it's absolutely crazy, but we've come to expect it. I mean, these people love the limelight. Look at yesterday with Stephen Miller, loving the limelight with, not him, but Jim Acosta and the Stephen Miller conversation back and forth during the press briefing. Jim Acosta wants to be in front of the camera. He's the guy that said, oh, we need the cameras turned on. He wants his 15 minutes of fame. And so he sits there and comes up with some bogus thing that, hello, Tori, how are you? That makes him look like a fool when he names Australia and Great Britain as the only two places where people speak English. I mean, and he did. He got accosted. You're right to bear arms. He wants to make the news, not report it. Yes. I guess, Big Ralph, they call on him because if they don't, then it's going to be, well, you never call on CNN. And he's probably the only guy from CNN there. I know, Catherine. Hey, Linda, good to see you. Good morning. I mean, it's ridiculous that we have this guy. The media will say the Russians are pumping up the stock market to help Trump. Probably, Cully. Don't give them any ideas. Karen, but are there really any adults in the room? I mean, I seriously don't know. Even during when Jim Acosta was trying to Stephen Miller, I don't know, the lady in the back, she's an African American woman, yells out, are you really going to help black people? I mean, it's like, who are these people? Good Lord. Did April Ryan, is that what her name is? What happened to decorum, professionalism? Where did it go? Seriously. You don't yell out in the middle of a press conference, and no civility. Yeah, they just want blood. I know, Robin. And the thing of it is, too, with Acosta, Steve Miller is trying to talk, and he's talking over him. April is rude. I don't know anybody in there really who isn't rude. It seems like the whole group of people sitting in the press room are that way. Thank you. Gisette said, God bless us and our president. Thank you. They need to shut these people down. It's turned into a free-for-all. Yeah, Spicer was scared of April. I bet the people that April works with are afraid of her. Acosta showboating was exactly why the press briefings got shut down. And he's back to doing it again because he's not getting enough attention. He hasn't been on for a while. So, he has to go out and try it again. Try something else and try to come up with whatever he can. And it was so good. I mean, I know people don't like to see these things sometimes, but people on Twitter just kind of let him have it. And I don't think they were being really rude. But they were kind of, saying, and I did this myself. I'm like, oh, okay, Jim, I just met somebody from East India and they speak English. Can you explain that to me? Based on what you said. I don't understand this. Hey, Mrs. Second Amendment, thank you for the super hearts. I mean, every now and then you got to have a little fun with these people. Yeah, he got his butt handed to him, Don said. He didn't say but I'm saying that. Robin, what about all races help themselves and each other by getting along and quit making things about race? We are all God's children. Acosta is a narcissist jerk, said Hugh. The thing of it is, I know that's what made Spicer so ineffective. He was scared of everybody, and after a while, they knew it. They could smell blood, and they just went after him. I wouldn't call on these idiots. I would call on news sources that never get to ask questions. I know. They should, Asher. Spread it around the room. Welcome, Pinfold G. It's your first day on Periscope. Everybody, welcome, Pinfold G. So, I here's some other things about yesterday. What Acosta was trying to do really was trying to make it look like, once again, that the Trump administration discriminates against people that they don't like. And because of this RAISE Act. Now, this RAISE Act, and I know you know what it is, but for people, let's maybe Josette from Trinidad doesn't know. Hey, Debbie, good morning. This RAISE Act is basically saying we want people to come to our United States but we would really like it. Hello, Stella. Real. It's our first day on Periscope. Everybody, welcome, Stella. It's we want people to come to America, but we want you to have a skill. And why is that? Well, we don't want to have to put everybody on welfare. There are a lot of people on welfare. They're finding that the immigrants that come here that don't have skills are the ones that primarily end up on welfare. Our country cannot handle that. And of course, the Democrats are going to have a field day with that. They're not going to like that at all. On the upside, it's nice to know us Aussies are welcome in America. Now save me a seat on the Trump train. Absolutely. You got a seat here. And as I said yesterday, there are some countries, I believe New Zealand is one of them, that basically says you can come here for 5 years if you have a skill and you can, do your job. And then after 5 years, you need to go. Unless you're from New Zealand, you need to go. We're not doing that. We're just saying that people who are coming here illegally need to have a skill, some skill, so that it doesn't end up, excuse me, where you're on welfare. Simply a chess move, the bill won't pass. Well, yeah, I think it's going to have, Gio, it's going to have a very, very hard time passing. Unless they do a simple majority, and then, of course, there's always John McCain to come back and ruin that. 60 countries, English is the language, no more extended families, Donald said. A skill like keep your legs crossed. Oh, my gosh. Right to bear arms. Oh, Canada is similar. We have zero tolerance for illegal arrivals, and legal immigrants like it that way. Well, and you know what? They like it that way, too, in America, for the most part, Boogie. So, it's just those people like, I don't know, Kamala Harris comes to mind, who doesn't appreciate the RAISE Act. She's already come out and spoken out against it, of course. But this was what I found also on the government website, saying that for decades, low-skilled and unskilled immigration into the United States has surged, depressing wages and harming America's most vulnerable citizens. Nobody wants to talk about that. Nobody wants to talk about how it has hurt Americans and the blue-collar worker, especially, taking jobs away from them. It says our system does not prioritize the most highly skilled immigrants. Just 1 out of every 15 immigrants to the United States comes here because of their skills. 1 out of 15. On average, 1 million immigrants are accepted into the United States for legal permanent residency annually, and most of them are low or unskilled workers. Another reason that we need to change that. More than 50% of all immigrant households receive welfare benefits. That's insane. That's crazy. Compared to only 30% of native households in the United States that receive the welfare benefits. Hey, Robert, good morning. And that's a little bit high, even for the Americans, I think. It shouldn't be 30%. Immigrants with a college education or higher are on average less likely to be welfare recipients than those without the same degree of education. That makes sense. Don't watch CNN anymore after one of the producers was heard saying they wished the president's plane crash. It was terrible. Justette said, yeah, absolutely. And Justette, if I'm not saying your name correctly, if you want to go by another name, let me know. I don't know what name you want me to do. You guys come from immigrants. My people were already here because I'm part Native American. So most of my family was already here. So anyway, American workers without a high school diploma have seen their real hourly wages fall by 17%. Welcome, Lydia, at your first day. Yeah, and I was born in America. So guess who's already, as I was saying, Kamala Harris. She said, immigrants don't just belong in America. Immigrants have built America. I oppose the RAISE Act. There again, Kamala is going to be the first one that comes out to say something because that's where her votes will hopefully come for her, that she's thinking, in 2020 when she probably comes out and runs for president. So, I know I'm part Native American too. Yeah, I know, Robin. So it's like, no, my family was already here, but thanks anyway. That was from Freak Out Witch. So, so other news. Now, rumor has it that John Kelly called Sessions over the weekend and told Sessions that his job was safe. Now, I don't know if it's true. Again, that's a rumor. And it said that Fox learned that from a senior White House official on that. So you can believe that or not. I kind of believe that. I mean, again, I don't think that it would be a good idea for Sessions to go, and I think they need to. I know Big Ralph. Well, it was somebody leaked it to Fox, and it said basically it was from a senior White House official. Pick one, you know. So, here's the thing, too. You know, yesterday, and I kind of say this every day. You don't believe it, Kim? I kind of believe that it'd be possible. You were saying, okay, thank you. Just said I am saying it correctly. That's good to know. Now, Boogie, are you Damien? Is that, I didn't want to say that, but I think Boogie Bumper is Damien, right? I've often wondered what it is. Good. Okay, perfect. I've often wondered what Congress does every day. You know, we've been asking that every day. Hey, Mike, good to see you. And we wanted to know what it is that what they do, because we don't see anything productive. Well, here you go. The two members of the Senate Judiciary Committee are putting together legislation to ensure that Mueller isn't fired. One is a Republican, Tom Tillis from North Carolina, and Chris Coons, who's a Democrat from Delaware. Have you heard about that? So that is something that your Congress is spending time doing. Instead of talking about the conflicts of interest, what Mueller's doing, how he's hiring people who are donors to the Hillary Clinton and the DNC, we're talking about how we can make sure that we protect him so that he doesn't get fired by President Trump. Okay, Giovanni, now it's his time to tell that about you. One thing I know they do is run their mouth every day. That's right, Asher. But so they're coming up with new legislation, and what they want to do is what it's saying is that if the special counsel is removed, then there's going to be a review period. I think they have a review within 14 days of a 3-member panel. And what's going to happen is they want the bill to be retroactive back to May 17 when Mueller was appointed. So they're trying to cover their bases just in case that President Trump tries to fire him. And now Lindsey Graham, you would know, I mean, that he was going to come up with something. He's saying that he's trying to come up with a bill that will actually prevent the hey, Bob, how are you? Prevent the special counsel from being fired before a judicial review. So he wants judicial review, and then you can talk about firing him. Hey, Marianne. So leave it to Lindsey Graham to make it even more sure. So what do you think about that? What do you think about what your Congress is doing? Yes. Asher. Kate says, traitors. Yeah. Hey, Linda. Oh, wow. Sorry about that, Marianne. All because of the Dems, waste of time and money, Debbie says. We should build a better White House for President Trump. Agreed. They stink. Yep. Absolutely. So that's what they've been doing with their time. Lindsey Graham's a traitor. I call them the Bobbsey twins, Linda. Lindsey Graham and John McCain are the Bobbsey twins. Congress has to protect the dossiers that Clintons have on them. So, my gosh, right to bear arms said. Damien said they dislike Trump because of his work ethic, exposes the uselessness. Yes. Replace them. Yep. I mean, I think it's a detriment, and again, Robin said Graham equal loser. Well, most of them are on my blacklist. They suck, Debbie said. Deep State put a computer chip inside McCain's brain, Bob said. These people are going to keep up the stupidity until America overthrows the government. Well, it seems like to me, Asher, they're doing a pretty good job trying to overthrow their own government because it's working out pretty well for them. They've done nothing but trying to sidetrack this administration, prevent them from doing their work. And I just, instead of focusing on Mueller and saying why he shouldn't be the special counsel, I mean, appoint somebody else if need be, but not Mueller. And here's, again, I'm going to ask this question again. Why is it that we haven't heard about our request for a special counsel, about the Hillary Clinton emails, Lynch, and Comey? Why are we getting nothing? Why has one not been appointed yet? I don't know how all got in that mistake, Robin said. So, you know what I'm saying? You know, lock her up. Well, we can lock her up if we find evidence to prove that she did stuff wrong. We can't do that until we get a special prosecutor. Mueller obviously has nefarious motives against Trump, yeah. With the 8 people that we talked about yesterday that had given total together over $60,000 to the Democrats in donations. That's who he has on as his attorneys helping work for the Russia investigation. And there are a lot of people who are really upset. A lot of Trump supporters that I've talked to are upset about Donald Trump signing the sanctions against Russia yesterday after he said that he thinks parts of it are unconstitutional and that it hurts our relationship. What do you guys think about that? Current DNC leadership aren't really Dems. Reasonable nationalists, Dems need to take their party back. Yeah, Damien, but, you know, they're overwhelmed. So, Kat, you're not happy with him signing that? So the brain surgeon did brain surgery on McCain, dropped on the floor, turned around, and then, oh, God. Giovanni. Yeah, because nobody wants a bullet in his or her head, Debbie said. That's why we don't have a special counsel for Hillary. Mueller's law firm gave 99.81% of donations to Hillary. Trump was forced to sign the sanction. Aren't you supposed to be in the kitchen? Aren't you supposed to be in your mommy's basement? That was a setup for president to sign. He had no choice or they would have had his head. Yeah, I mean, he really was in a bad place. Don't sign. Yeah, it really, I know what he said was, you know, we want unity. Putin is mad about it. We've already been told that 755 ambassadors need to go, or that need to go from the embassy in Russia. Kind of, they want the same numbers that we have of Russians in America. So, you know, I don't know. It's not looking good. I think if it's unconstitutional, like he says it is, then somebody has to try to fight it or whatever. Trump would rather negotiate. That's true. I'm betting can do politics. Yeah, I know, Damien. You always have to get one troll in that has to say something from his mommy's basement to try to, you know, make himself feel good. I don't know. Speaking of trolls, Cecile Richards, who is the head of Planned Parenthood. Yeah, exactly, Catherine. You know, again, they're saying that there's proof that Russia interfered in our elections. Well, there's proof that Obama interfered in Israel's elections. Nothing happened with that. But anyway, the American public hasn't seen proof of it. Are they not going to show us? I know troll school starts soon. Did they go to school, though, Huey? That's my question. Bots will be engaging more in social media. Love battling the trolls around like mice, batting them around like mice. Troll got killed in his video game at time. Exactly. Video game got put aside. LOL, mommy's basement. Robin said. Robert's back with us. If you guys could, if you would right now, share this. We're about the halfway mark. And invite your followers in and share it, retweet it on Periscope. That would be great. Share it on YouTube if you can, and on Facebook Live. That would be wonderful. Thank you. So, Cecile Richards, the madam of Planned Parenthood, she got really mad at the Democrat Congressional Campaign committee head, and I pardon me for not knowing his name, intentionally not knowing it, not caring. Um, she objected when he said that he would not hold funding for those candidates who wanted to be run, for office, who were Democrats and that were pro-life. I don't think it was Perez, Big Ralph. It was somebody else. I know Perez is the head of the DNC, but McDonald's drive up. Thanks for the flowers, Robert. She says the Democratic Party's pro-choice stance is non-negotiable. She said that she will hold any politician accountable who says otherwise. She said a pro-life candidate would alienate women. So here we have this woman. Now, we don't want churches at all to be involved in campaigns, but we can let the opposite sort of church, those people who want to abort babies. Now, she can come out with all this money that taxpayers like you and me are forced to give her. She can come out and say, no, we don't want any pro-life people here. I know Rosie O'Donnell, not only, Damien, she wants to start a third party with just for women who want to start a third party if anything is pro-choice. She wants to get away from it, or get away from pro-life. Yeah, I know. Go, Rosie, go away. Poor Democrats, no money in the pot. She's a murderer, Robin said about Cecile Richards. I don't know how these people sleep at night, when she knows what goes on in the abortion clinics. She knows what the video showed. I mean, she knows all of it. She enriches herself and her pocketbook from killing babies. Socialism at its finest, Rosie O'Donnell. That's right, Gio. Absolutely. Now, in San Diego, in regards to the border wall, they sleep in the arms of Lucifer. Yes, there you go. Well, she failed at being funny. Regular girl. So they're saying that in San Diego, the city council is trying to pass a resolution opposing Trump's plan to build the wall. And they're calling for the city to divest from any company who was involved in the wall's design, financing, or construction. So San Diego wants to discriminate against those who would want to help build the wall. They see what they want to see, Karen said, about Cecile Richards and Planned Parenthood. Yes, that's true. Wall works great in San Diego. I know, Big Ralph. Well, San Diego doesn't like the wall. See, because they would like to have everybody just come on over. MS-13 is welcome. Anybody coming here illegally, come on over. They're truly biblically blinded, Karen. Robin's telling Karen. That's true. Greg, thank you for retweeting. Really appreciate it. So I don't know what's going to happen with San Diego. I think San Diego and California in general, they're going to lose so much federal funding because they just can't let it go. They can't understand that President Trump is the president. San Diego Patriots need to hold firm. Karen, everybody's trying as hard as we can, but we're kind of outnumbered. Send them all to Venezuela where the socialists starve, Don said. There are laws. Yeah, and a lot of it, could be kind of symbolic about what San Diego is doing. But the problem is that they're going to discriminate against those people. If any company decides that they're going to help build that wall, they'll never work in San Diego again. Catherine, we've got to go red. The only thing, in California, everybody out on the coast, those people are all blue. Everybody inland, pretty much red. And, I hate to say it, I've said it before, but Ronald Reagan, it's his fault that California turned out like that, and he even admitted it was because of amnesty, basically. Yeah, I know. Bring Texas in to do the wall, man. I would love that. I'll bring the water and hand out goodies. MS. I know. There's a big country out there to work in. Yeah. What's going on in Florida with the immigration? I don't know what's going on in Florida with the immigration. Which part of it? It's got. I mean, I know it's kind of broad, so I don't know what you're talking about. They want to break away anyway. Yes, they got water to deal with there. So blue outside, red inside. Yeah, you know how it is, Robert. Everybody on the coast, pretty much red. I mean, pretty much blue. Everybody's red everywhere else. Won't that be a smart move? Yep. There are many other states that are willing to build the wall. And it's amazing, Karen. Here's the thing. I don't know how this is going to work. San Diego is pretty much a union town. Everything's union run. So I think people coming in from out of state may not, let's just say they may have some problems with their equipment, may get hurt going to the gym, things of that nature. Navy too, Big Ralph, and also Marines. So that's Gisette said the Bible says life is in the WPMB. I'm not sure what that is. Getting my hammer, I would bring it there to build the wall. I know, Wayne. No libs on Periscope. I know. You know, everybody probably saw Gab when they came on yesterday and were talking about how that they're on Twitter now that they're breaking the links. Like you think you're responding to somebody and the link has been broken. So you're not really communicating with somebody. So keep in mind, you might want to check and see what's happening with yours. Oh, I see. You're probably talking regular girl, probably more like in Miami too. Okay, Debbie, thanks so much for checking in. Please share if you will. California wants to leave the USA. I know. It's crazy, Amanda. It is crazy. So, some good news. Some of the Obama holdovers, have left. The EPA one resigned yesterday. She resigned because she's just so infuriated by President Trump and what he's doing to hurt the environment that she has gone over now to the Environmental Protection Network. He Tillett for CT. Thank you. Who is that for Tillett? I don't know who that one is. Thank you for retweeting, but I'm not sure who that is. Is that Barbara? Is that who? With Puerto Rico and Cuba? Check shadow ban, put a picture of puppy. If you get no likes, Huh. So I like the fact that these EPA people are leaving on their own. That's great. But they're going over and building a resistance network so that they can once again interfere with what the government is trying to do. So part of it was good. Part of it was like, whatever. Now, in some other news, Scaramucci is trying to come back in the news. Did anybody hear about Scaramucci over the last day? We are neighbors with Venezuela, and look what is happening. It's sad. Yes, just that. Very sad there. People are, they've just about had all they can take. Reclaiming my time, reclaiming my time. I know, Robert. Hello, Sergio. How are you? Reclaiming my time. So, hey, Robert. I love that. I really love the gospel song that the guy made out of that, though. He really got her good. That's really, I don't know what's going on, Shauna, with that. So, yes, Mooch News. Okay. Scaramucci is planning, and this is just odd. Max is embarrassing. Who's Max? Are you talking about Max Brick? Is he in there? I didn't see that. Scaramucci is planning on. Thank you for the super hearts, Don. Thank you so much. He's planning on holding a live online event on Friday with. Remember Bill Shine. Now here's what I think is so odd about this. Oh, Maxine. Oh, okay, Karen. Thanks. Bill Shine supposedly was at that dinner with Kimberly Guilfoyle and Hannity and the president. Yes, Bill Shine from Fox, the same one. So supposedly, he's supposed to be in this online event with Scaramucci. And the event is about telling people what led up to him getting canned or him leaving, whichever one you want to believe. And he's saying that he had, he wanted to talk about it. And apparently, and I don't know if anybody else heard this or not, apparently he gave a memo to Cernovich telling, this is before he got fired, saying what he was going to be doing. That he was going to be, changing up things in the White House, and that he was brought on to make some changes and that type of thing. So he's going to be talking about why he left, what led up to it, and then supposedly later on, I don't think in that same live event, but he's going to be talking about what he's going to be doing in the future, and he's not going back to the same job that he had. I know, Mooch should let it go. But Cully, something seems to be weird. Something just seems to be weird about that. Oh, I see in the womb. Okay, I gotcha. So it is definitely weird. I don't know. I mean, I hate to be like an ego alert, Karen said, but you hate to think like, okay, was this all planned? Did they go to dinner that night? Bill Shine. Was Scaramucci at that dinner? I can't remember if he was there or not. Maybe he wasn't. But now Bill Shine's over with Scaramucci. If this is all true. Sometimes these things, they're not true. But I think I saw this on Fox. So it wasn't like something I didn't recognize. So hopefully it's true. But yes, he was. Okay, so it makes no sense at all that all these people went to dinner, then he gets fired, and now he's coming out with a live event with one of the guys that was at dinner who was invited, I believe, by Hannity. Something just doesn't seem right. Yeah, something is off, Asher. I know. Tune in Friday. Yeah, it didn't say exactly where the event would be, what time, or anything else. So, something just isn't adding up. And it was so quick. Everything about him getting fired and everything else was just so quick. Think Hannity would damage Trump? No, Hannity wouldn't. Hannity wouldn't damage Trump. I don't believe he would at all. But something isn't right about the whole Scaramucci thing, the whole dinner thing. Something's just not sitting right. Trump TV coming up. Yep. And what I would like to see, I would love to see Stephen Miller go in and take over as the director of communications at the White House. I mean, he was great. And I guess apparently he used to be Sessions' director of communications. Gosh, I don't know, Damien, if Shine will go for the director position. I don't know. And if he is going to go for the director position, why is he going to do this live event with Scaramucci? That doesn't make any sense. But Miller would be great in the job. Oh my gosh, Miller would be great. And Miller, do you notice Miller didn't even look down and like he was looking for a lost paperclip like Sarah does. Like, oh, where did I put that? I mean, she's always looking around the room. Miller did rock. I don't know. I have no idea with the whole Scaramucci thing. I mean, it could all be a lie, but again, it was a whole big thing on Fox, and that he gave this information to Cernovich and what he planned to do, and then, an hour later he was gone, so I'm just not sure. Acosta, stop the bleeding, stop the bleeding. Yeah, I don't know if I want to watch either, Karen. I don't really care. Hey, Dawn. Thought it was previously got fired after the dinner, and Mooch got fired a day or two later. Yeah, it was that, Dawn. I just kind of mean it was just so sudden that things happened. And now having a live event, and now not going back to the old job, going to go do something new and going to tell everybody. Acosta was looking for paper. Acosta was looking for a hole to climb into. It just just disappear. Absolutely love Sarah's style. Such a class. I know. Sarah's getting better every day, Greg. I trust Fox just as much as I trust CNN and MSNBC, not Robin said. I know it's hard. It's hard to know who to even trust at all. That's why I try to go to like several sources to see if I can find if somebody else is saying it. Sarah is great, Don. Yes. Yeah, Acosta left there, I think, thinking he at least he was going to try to maybe go back to CNN and try to save some face and act like he hurt Stephen Miller. I had, hey, Melody, I had somebody on, I write on medium.com, post some things there. And somebody came out and said, oh, I don't know what you were watching, but Acosta just wiped the floor or something like that with Stephen Miller. I'm thinking, gosh, did we see the same thing? Nothing better than a sarcastic Southern woman. Oh, my gosh. I saw this little commercial about that on Southern women. There was a woman standing, cutting up food. Kids were sitting over at the island in the house, the little island. And one of the son had his hand down. He was resting his hand. He was kind of sleepy. And he was supposed to be eating, but he was really sleepy. And so the woman turns around, or before she turns around, said, does everybody have enough to eat? Would anybody, is everybody okay? And the little boy answers yes. And all of a sudden, thunder, you hear thunder roaring in the background, lightning strikes, the wind starts blowing everybody's hair. The woman turns around really quickly. She has a knife in her hand. I know, wasn't that great, Marlene? And she said, you said what? And the little boy goes, she said, yes, what? And he goes, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So it's one of the things that you never forget to say to a Southern woman. You say yes, ma'am, and no, sir, and yes, sir. Oh, my God. I loved it. Brought back memories growing up in the South. I know. I did too, Big Ralph. It's a Southern thing. Bless his heart. Oh, my gosh. So funny. All right. So in other news, Sessions came out yesterday and said they're going to be Southern mother, military dad. Oh, my gosh. Acosta was coming across like such a yes, but he just kept going. Yeah, because he wanted the limelight. He was trying. First thing my son had to learn moving to Texas was saying yes, ma'am, and no, ma'am, yes, sir, no, sir, Melody said. That's cool. I love that. I think Stephen Miller owned him. Miller definitely handled him. He sure did. So Sessions is going to be targeting the doctors spreading opioid addiction by overprescribing painkillers. So they're going to be going after, doctors, pharmaceuticals. Are you tired of winning yet? They're going to prosecute doctors, pharmacies, and medical providers who are making this epidemic worse. Well, hey, Jeff Sessions, start at the VA. I'm just saying. It really is a Southern thing, but not so much as used to be since we have liberals also now. I know, Linda, they've kind of ruined everything. Bless your heart. I think you're right. Yeah, because I tell you one thing, growing up in the South, if you ever cussed, oh my gosh. How many people remember growing up in the South, saying your first cuss word in front of your mother and having a limb broken off the tree with the leaves taken off and getting your legs swatted with that? I do. It would be considered, yes, soap. You got soap. It'd be considered child abuse today, but in the South, when I grew up, it was not child abuse. It was what you did. Amanda remembers that too. Yep. And sometimes it would be, Jerry. Sometimes your mother would have you go and pick the switch off the tree for her. Hey, see you later, Gio. You get to pick your own twig. I know, Dawn. Dad had us cut our own switches. I know, Lisa. I know. I made the mistake one day of sort of doing that to my mother and saying, because I just thought, okay, I'm going to get my mother. I had on pants, so I knew that she wouldn't get a switch, but that she would swat me with her hand, right? So I said something smart, alecky, and I put a book in my pants before my mother said, before I said it. And so my mother took her hand and hit the book, and it was really bad. And, it wasn't so good for me after that. So I do the parents call it teaching the children to use respect, Linda said. Yeah, so don't ever do that to your mother. Don't ever hurt her hand because it's going to hurt you worse. We had the internet and a Roku. Oh, don't watch the news. Good for you, Robin. Yeah, one time I got a pie pan. Oh, no. I know, Lisa. Big mistake. Mom broke a wooden spoon on your backside once. It was worn out. Oh. Wow. Yeah, you would have your child taken away from you so fast. In California, if you grab your child by the arm and you leave a bruise, CPS is going to be called, and you may lose your child. So it is really in California. You barely touch your child. Don't even hug them. If you put a bruise on them, you're going to be sorry. Sarah Huckabee is a woman of great faith, Josette said. Yes, like her dad, Josette. Thank you for the hearts. Yeah, Marlene, don't leave a mark. Yeah. And again, nothing like that. What happened to us in the South years ago, you would never even think about doing that today. It would be child abuse. So I think that, again, that's really good about what Sessions is doing. I think he's continuing to do a good job. They're still not saying whether or not, oh, fly swatters. Oh, gosh. They're not really saying whether or not that whole thing about the discrimination, the affirmative action. I'm hearing conflicted stories about that, of whether or not that's really true. But I've seen it in so many different news outlets that I think there's some truth to it. So we'll wait and see how that develops. There's a lot of cleaning up at the VA. There needs to be a lot of cleaning up at the VA. And opioids is a problem there. That's my understanding. That's what people write. And like Ben Krause, who is an advocate for people who have trouble with the VA. He talks about a lot of, in his articles about the opioid there. And, again, try to get them on HBOT, try to show them that there's an alternative to those types of drugs. That would be a great thing. The VA is not really buying it. The boy to get surgery. Yeah. Yeah, the one couple that wanted the boy to get surgical operation and change anatomy. Yeah, that's pretty amazing. Now, I don't know if you feel this way. We talked yesterday about this a little bit. Hey, Wanda, good morning. And we've talked about this before in here. We talked about H.R. McMaster. I told you a long time ago that this is right when he was being put in to run his office, the National Security Advisor. He is a globalist. And that's one thing that really concerned me, is the fact that he's a globalist. And I've seen a lot of things that I don't like. Lee has come out and talked about it last night as well. We talked about it yesterday morning in here, and he talked about it last night. That he's replacing a lot of Trump people. So McMaster is, on Wednesday, confirmed that he ousted Ezra Cohen Watnick, the senior director for intelligence at the National Security Council, who had been viewed as very much a Trump loyalist. Also, Cohen Watnick, 31, he was brought into the NSA by former National Security Advisor Mike Flynn. He was at the center of the controversy over House Committee Chairman Representative Devin Nunes' visit to the White House in March to look at intelligence reports. It was also revealed that Rich Higgins, who served as director for strategic planning at the NSC, National Security Council, was fired July 21st. Higgins had been an ally of senior White House advisor Steve Bannon. And last week, Derek Harvey, a top Middle East advisor who served as special assistant to the president and senior director for the Middle East on the National Security Council, was also relieved of his duties. So, I don't know. I'm not comfortable about what's happening with McMaster. Now, here's what I want to ask you guys. Is there a possibility that the people he's getting rid of just coincidentally happen to be those that are Trump loyalists? Are those people, could they potentially have been some people who are leakers, and that's why they've been gotten rid of? Yeah, the number for the White House is 202-456-1111. Lee was saying last night everybody should call the White House and ask them to relieve McMaster of his duties. So I'll leave it up to you whether or not that you want to do that. And again, I'm not sure. I haven't heard his reasoning for why he's getting rid of these people. Yeah, so internal war in the staff. It's odd that they are Trump people, but are they Trump people who have leaked? I mean, and I hate to say this again. I know people probably don't like me saying this. Hey, Letitia, But Scaramucci ended up being a leaker. He didn't leak classified information, but he did leak information about what was going on in the White House. And we shouldn't have people doing that. Thanks, Josette. I love the little doggies. That's cute. Yeah, I know, Don. I'm just not sure. And so I want to be more cautious, but I will say I don't like him because he is a globalist, and I want him gone just for that reason. Yeah, socialists are attracted to government jobs. Yeah, Trump just talked about new technology for the VA. Is that, Cully, is that for the appointments? Because they talked about that before, getting a new system in. Too many leakers. Everyone says so. Everyone says so. What, Catherine? That he's a globalist, or that that firing just Trump people? What are they saying that you saw? Because I believe President is well aware of all that is happening and has approved it for whatever reason, Melody says. Which was a good circuit breaker for a larger reset. They're traitors. Are you talking about the people he's firing? Thank you for the super hearts, Robert. Also heard he had Soros ties. Well, even Kushner has Soros ties. McMaster is a traitor. That's what you've heard. Okay, Catherine. And see, that would be a real disappointment for the president because he likes to surround himself with generals. So I would like to hear the reasons that he is saying why he's firing these people. Hey, Catherine, POTUS has a big announcement tonight at a rally. Yes, can't wait. What time is the rally, Catherine? You can tell us maybe. Yeah, it should be a good rally. I love his rallies. It's always good. It always helps build up the momentum and make, let him know that we're still there. Rally, woohoo, I know. There are a lot of generals. Love me a Trump rally. Thank God for the internet. I know, Damien. I know. So make up your mind of what you want to do in regards to whether you want to call the White House. If you do, go ahead. Okay, 5 p.m. Eastern. All right. Whatever you feel confident and comfortable in doing. Again, I want him gone just because he's a globalist. Oh, really? Gene's going to be at the rally? Wow. That's interesting. Now, yesterday, too, Judicial Watch, of course, released those new emails. And in case anybody hasn't seen that, there are about 530 emails that were not part of the batch that Hillary said that she had turned over, of course. And part of the emails, can you get a quick rundown? Oh, my gosh. But you can go back and watch the replay. Oh, wow. 5,000K dinner tonight. Pence is in Tennessee. How many people watch down here election night? But, of course, we're going to D.C. soon. Should my family have a protest? Yes, Robin, just go out in front of the Smithsonian and protest there. So in April 2009, this is what some of the emails show. This is just one in particular. In April 2009 shows that a Puerto Rican TV executive named Miguel Lausell, Laussell, making a request that started with the Clinton Foundation executive Doug Band, but was then moved over to Aberdeen. He was pushing for his preferred candidate to become the U.S. ambassador to the Dominican Republic, and was reportedly a donor to both the Clinton Presidential Center and the Clinton Global Initiative. And again, Partners in Crime, that book by Jerome Corsi, a must-read, a great book, talks about Doug Band and how connected he is on everything. Oh, Damien. Jerome Corsi's great. And you know what? Jerome just needs to watch his back and don't go to the gym because, he might drop equipment on himself. Just like the other guy at the DNC who kind of died by going to the gym. Remember, he dropped a dumbbell on his throat. So, Corsi is straight down the line. They fear him. Yes. He just needs to be cautious. Now, the First Lady, it is rumored that she was in Trump's ear urging Arcanicide. Oh my God. Was in Trump's ear urging him to pick a California businesswoman as the U.S. ambassador to Slovenia. As you know, that's where she's from. And she wants GOP donor and California hotel owner Kelly Roberts for the position. Yes. Of course, he's been on Alex Jones a lot lately, giving out tons of information. I know, just that. Thank you so much for being here. And if you will, please retweet the YouTube, if you will. And please come back tomorrow and each and every weekday at the same time. And you might want to go ahead and click on the little bell so you'll get notifications. Should we be looking up her name? Maybe so. Just to see who she is, Robert. A businesswoman in California. So, but they say she's a GOP donor. Good, but California needs their reps. Yeah. The old shot himself before times in the back of the head trick. Yeah, suicide trick. Right. Exactly. Blessings to you too, Amanda. Don was sent to the Dominican Republic for the election crisis. Here we go again. Oh. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. If you would, everyone, please retweet this Periscope. Also, if you would share it on Facebook Live and on YouTube, and if you give me a thumbs up, that would be great. Thank you, Damien. Thanks for all of your comments, everybody. Same time tomorrow, same place. Have a great day. I love our time together, too, Catherine. Thank you so much. I know all the trolls kind of left, Wayne. It's so nice not to have them in there. Thank you, Robert. Thank you, everybody. Huntington, West Virginia at 7 Eastern. That's when the rally is tonight. Okay, perfect. Thank you again for the flowers, Robert. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, thank you. We'll see you again tomorrow. God bless you, everybody. Take care. I can never close down my Periscope. They don't want me to leave on Periscope. See you guys. All right. See you, everybody on YouTube. Thanks so much. We'll talk again tomorrow. Take care.